Hello and welcome to the Christian Life Coach podcast. I am Shanna, your Christian life coach. Today is the fourth episode in the weight loss series, and it is the ninth episode overall. You may or may not have noticed I did not have an episode last week. Alas, I did not plan properly. And that might not even be true. I did plan for it. I did not follow through. Confessions of a Christian life coach. I did not follow through and record the episode before I went out of town for the week. And I have learned a lesson. Follow through. So today we are talking about how to lose the weight, what to do. And in previous episodes, in the weight loss series, we've mostly talked about mindset type things. And today I'm going to talk about practical things. What can I do? And the title of the episode is Self-Care as a Weight Loss Protocol. I'm all about protocols. I love the idea of protocols, and I actually meant to go look up the definition of protocol before I got on here, and I did not do that. But protocol, deciding ahead of time, thinking through what is going to be happening, and then how you want yourself to look. What actions do you want to take in that situation? And that's the basics of a protocol, I guess. So, self-care as a weight loss protocol. Now, what comes to mind when you hear the term self-care? It might be self-care is selfish. It might be I don't have time for self-care. It might be that self-care is going on vacation or going to the spa and getting spa treatments like manis and pedis and facials and massages. It might be a bubble bath. And all of those things are great. And I love most of them. I do not enjoy getting pedicures at all, ever. But I don't consider those things as real self-care. They're luxuries, they're indulgences, they're extras, they're going above and beyond. But I think about self-care as like the foundations of how you take care of yourself. Self-care is not selfish. We've all heard the oxygen mask spiel on an airplane. If the oxygen masks come down, before you try to help anybody else, put your own oxygen mask on yourself first. Before you try to help anybody else, including your own children. That is so counterintuitive. That is the opposite of what we want to do, right? We want to make sure that those kids are taken care of first. But what happens? What if we go to put their oxygen mask on and they're fighting us, and the plane is losing? Like, okay, I don't want to get into that. You're losing oxygen. Like if you aren't getting the oxygen that you need, you cannot help get that child's oxygen mask on them, or an adult that might be like panicking. So we need to make sure that we have the oxygen that our brains and our bodies need in order to help other people to get the oxygen that they need. So we want to put our own masks on first. In order for us to be the best for other people, we need to take care of ourselves physically and mentally and spiritually. We want to serve from a place of overflowing rather than serving by scraping the bottom of the barrel, by just doing what we can, pushing through. Like, how different does that feel? I believe that self-care is just what it says: taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, your mental and your emotional wellness, and your spiritual wellness too. So, what does this look like in weight loss? So, like I said, in previous episodes, we have talked about mindset a lot, and that is a huge part of it. It's like if you don't have that, then you're just dieting, you're just in diet mode, and you're not going to make the sustainable changes that are going to help you to get to the weight that you want to be and keep it there to maintain that. So you can go back and listen to those previous episodes to remind yourself about the mental part of it. And then let's dive in. So taking care of your physical body, it doesn't have to be complicated. The basics of physical self-care are pretty basic. And I'm going to start with one that is it's not exactly physical, but it's going to help you to take care of those physical needs. So plan for it. Being intentional is possibly the best form of self-care. Decide how to best care for yourself. Set a goal and then plan to reach that goal and determine each day, what do I need to do today in order to be the person that does the things to reach this goal? Plan what your self-care looks like. Plan what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat. If you're doing intermittent fasting, determine ahead of time, like these are my eating windows, these are my fasting windows, and then follow them. Planning ahead, typically you're doing your planning when you have a clear mind, you have the energy to think it through, and you're making decisions ahead of time. That's what planning is. It's making decisions ahead of time so that in the moment when you want to just give in and eat all the things or whatever, you've already decided and you can remind yourself, I've already made this decision. Like I'm not going off course. I'm going to stick with my decision that my highest planning self made for me. It alleviates decision fatigue. If we're not planning ahead and we're just flying by the seat of our pants, then that most dreaded question for women everywhere comes anywhere between 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? It is, I don't know, arguably the worst question ever asked. And it gets asked every single day. Am I right? But if you're making this decision ahead of time at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, you don't even have to think about it. You just know the decision's been made. When you're tired and you want to give in and you want to have the cookie or whatever, you can remind yourself, I've already made the decision. I'm not eating after dinner tonight. Remember? That was such a great decision. And now I don't even have to decide whether I'm going to or not. It's already been decided. How great was my planning self for doing this work for me? Plan for how you're going to include self-care in your days. Decide what it is and where it fits best into your day. And in your planning, and this is where it's a little bit of journaling that gets mixed in with your planning, it's so helpful to remind yourself why you're doing this. And this goes back to episode 8. And if you didn't do it, go back to the show notes. There's a link. You can get my worksheet on deciding your whys. And then each day you can pick which why matters most for me today. Why am I doing this today? Why am I planning today? Why am I making decisions ahead of time today? Why am I sticking to my plan? Why does it matter today that I'm doing these things? And when you plan, you are so much more likely to follow through and to do the things that it takes to reach your goal. Plan for it, be intentional. And I work with my clients a ton on this, on planning and journaling. And for the most part, they're really resistant to it in the beginning. And then they realize, oh my word, this is so helpful. It makes such a huge difference to me. Sorry, I needed a drink of my coffee. And this planning ahead of time also creates the situation where you learn that you actually are a person that can and does do what you said you were going to do. I hear it all the time. I just don't do what I say I'm going to do. I was a person that said that all the time. If I could just do what I said I was going to do. And now, if I say I'm going to do it, except for recording that podcast 2 weeks ago, I more than likely am going to do the thing. Not every single time, but I am much more likely to do it. And now I don't identify as a person that doesn't do what I say I'm going to do. I am a person that usually does what I say I'm going to do. And if you don't say you're going to do it, you're not planning ahead. So let's plan ahead and learn that we really are people that can do what we say we're going to do. Okay, enough about that. So plan for it. Be intentional. Now let's jump into the physical parts of self-care as a weight loss protocol. It's a really easy one, you guys. So important. And there is so much struggle here. Drink the water. Just drink water. And I would say if you are not drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day right now, start where you're at and start increasing your daily water intake until you get to that 64 ounces. I recommend in my weight loss coaching that you drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. Now, again, start where you're at. You're not going to go from drinking 16 ounces of water a day to 100 ounces of water a day. You're going to gradually work up to that, and that's okay. That is one of my foundations, right? Start where you're at, commit to what you're going to do consistently, and do it from a place of love. So work on getting up to 64 ounces of water, and then maybe 80 ounces of water, and then work to get up to half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you want to set a goal of getting up to 100 ounces of water per day. Water helps, like every process within your body, water helps. Water helps to, in moving, like it lubricates your joints and it hydrates your muscles and your organs. It helps everything to operate more smoothly. It hydrates your skin. It helps your brain. I could tell when my kids were growing up, I could tell when they were getting like to the place where they have not been drinking enough water, like tired, cranky, but it's not nap time. I know they've gotten enough sleep. And then they would just drink some water and perk right up. Just like a flower, a wilted flower, you give it water and it perks right up. So give yourself the water that your body is craving, that your brain is craving. We start to get foggy and distractible and kind of zone out when we're not hydrated. So drinking the water helps your brain to operate properly. It helps your body to do all the things. It flushes out toxins. So drink the water. And some things to think about. So set your goal for the day. And then how do you drink your water? What kind of, do you get water from the dispenser, the dispenser in the fridge? Do you drink bottled water? Like, how do you get your water and how can you set it out ahead of time? You could use a pitcher in the fridge and put a certain amount of water and just know, I want to get through that each day. You can set out your bottles of water. I personally like to drink my water at room temperature because I chug it. I'm not a sipper. I don't carry a water bottle around with me everywhere I go because I chug it. So I want to get my water in usually early afternoonish by 3 because I don't want to have to be up all night going to the bathroom. So decide how much you're going to drink and then set yourself up for success. Set it out or put that amount in the fridge. You can buy a water bottle. You can buy any size water bottle. So if you want to drink a gallon of water, you can get a gallon jug that is marked off and you can get them on Amazon and they have like time marks on them, like by such and such o'clock you should have drank this much. And so they have it marked off. You can gamify it. You can use a water tracker on apps on your phone. You can add non-caloric flavors to it. You can add essential oils. You can infuse it with fruit. That's going to have little calories, but it's whatever helps you to get the water down, ideally without calories or caffeine. So drink the water. Yes, you're going to have to pee more. It's okay. Your body over time should adjust to that and it will be more efficient in using the water. And like I said, it's helpful to get it in earlier in the day so that you limit those nighttime visits to the bathroom. So plan for it, drink the water. Number 3 is get the sleep. Go to bed, friend. Go to bed. Get some sleep. When we sleep, our brains regenerate. Rest is essential, again, for all of the systems in our bodies. For our brain to operate optimally, we need rest. Our brains need rest. Jesus was napping in the boat when the storm came and the disciples were freaking out. Jesus was asleep because he knows the importance of rest. So rest is not a bad thing. Rest is not like not getting sleep is not a badge of honor. People, I can go on 5 hours of sleep a night. No, that's not optimal. Let's start bragging about how much sleep we get. I am so well rested. I sleep so well. I operate better because I go to bed at a decent hour. So we operate better. We are better able to handle life when we get a proper amount of sleep. We can handle stress. We can handle hiccups so much better when we have rested. We are more enjoyable to be around when we have rested. And we get to enjoy people around us more when we are rested. We make better decisions. We handle our food cravings better. A lot of times when we want to eat, it's not that we're hungry, it's that we're tired and our body needs energy. So we eat to get that energy boost. When really, if it's 8 o'clock at night and you're wanting to eat, you're probably not hungry, you're probably tired, and it's okay to go to bed. It's okay to go to bed. My favorite times of day are when I get to go to bed. I love climbing into my cozy bed. And when I get up in the morning, I love waking up early. And I love waking up early because I went to bed at a decent time and I got enough sleep. So go to bed. So in order to do this, set a bedtime for yourself. Know, okay, this is when I want to be up to make my plan for the day. And then plan from that. How many hours of sleep do I want a night? Can I recommend getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep consistently on a regular basis? Sometimes it's not going to happen. That's okay. But normally 7 to 9 hours of sleep. And again, start where you're at, commit to what you're willing to do, and do it from a place of love. So it might take some work getting up to that 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So whatever time you want to get up, count back 7 to 9 hours, and that's your bedtime. So pick a bedtime, set it for yourself. You're the adult now, and you're parenting yourself, and you're giving yourself a bedtime. And it might take time for your brain and your body to adjust to this new schedule, this new bedtime, and that's okay. Be consistent, be persistent, and work towards getting to bed at your bedtime each night. Limit your technology before bed. Don't scroll in bed. Once you're in bed, no phone. Listen to something as you go to sleep. You can set the timer. Create a bedtime routine, a nighttime routine. When do you start shutting down for the night? When do you turn off the television? When do you start maybe listening to that, like a calm app, something or other, or some soft music? There are all kinds of going to sleep apps, and even on YouTube, there are some channels. So set your bedtime, create a nighttime routine, brush your face, brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever it is. Maybe you take a bath, maybe you have a cup of tea. I've really been enjoying the Yogi nighttime, the stress relief tea with kava. That's been really yummy. So get the sleep, plan for it, drink the water, get the sleep. And then here, now we're going to get deep into it. Are you ready? Let's go. Listen to your body's hunger cues and your body's satiety cues. We are overweight because we overeat. It's that simple. We are overweight because we overeat. We overeat because we underfeel. We don't want to feel those negative emotions. We're stress hits and we want to eat. We're sad, we want to eat. We're angry, we want to eat. Whatever it is, we don't want to feel that emotion, so we eat. We over desire, which honestly is perpetuated by the food industry, right? Because they make this amazing, delicious food with all of these wonderful flavors and textures. And so we want more, we want more. And this is part of the motivational triad. We want to seek pleasure over desire. We want to avoid pain, don't want to feel those feelings, and we want to exert as little energy as possible. And this is we'll dive into all of this in later episodes. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, we get into all of this for sure. So listening to your body's cues, get in the habit of asking yourself, am I physically hungry, before you put anything in your mouth? Am I physically hungry? You can put it on sticky notes in your fridge. Am I physically hungry? You can put it in your pantry. You can put it on those things that you go to automatically, put a sticky note on it and write, am I physically hungry? So before you eat, ask yourself, am I physically hungry? The answer most often is going to be no. You might want food, you might want to eat, but you're probably not physically hungry. And if you aren't hungry, don't eat. Sounds so easy, doesn't it? If only it were so. Then, when you decide that you are hungry, I'm ready to eat, I am hungry, I have my plan. As you're eating, pay attention to your satiety level. So take a few bites and then ask yourself, have I had enough? Your brain is going to say no, no matter what. Your brain is going to say no. It's going to say, keep eating. This is so good. When you finish eating, you have all of these other things that you want to do all of these other things to do that you don't really want to do. So let's just sit here and keep eating. If I can keep eating, then I don't have to do those things. It's going to say just a little bit more. A little bit more won't hurt. There's just a little bit left. Let's finish it. But we want to listen to our body, not our brain, when it comes to how much we eat, right? So ask yourself, am I hungry? And then when you're eating, have I had enough? And when you're physically satisfied and you've had enough, even though your brain wants more, put the fork down, scrape the rest into the garbage can, or if you want, box it up for leftovers and put it in the fridge. Knowing that if you get hungry again, you can eat. It's going to be okay. There's a Bible verse that says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Our bodies were created to send us messages when it's hungry. And if we would just listen to that, we wouldn't be overweight. We would be feeling our emotions and we would be fueling our body. God made our bodies to tell us exactly what they need. Now, when you commit to listening to your body and only eating when you're physically hungry and stopping when you've had enough, you're going to be surprised to see how much you've truly been overeating. When you recognize how much your body actually needs, you're going to be like, whoa, I have been overfeeding my body, and that's okay. We're not here for judgment. We're not here to heap condemnation. We're here to learn and to move on. Our bodies need so much less than our brains want us to eat. Also, when you commit to doing this, all kinds of emotions are going to come up. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel whatever. And we're not going to eat for that anymore. So then what? Then we have these emotions to allow and to experience and to process and work through, because we're not using food to avoid them anymore. And that, my friend, is where a lot of the weight loss coaching comes in. We work on experiencing our emotions and not letting our emotions drive us to the pantry or the freezer to eat. So we are planning for it, drinking the water, getting the sleep, listening to our body for hunger and satiety cues. And now we're going to address the thing that everybody goes to first. And I just want to say, this last one is not for weight loss purposes. Moving our body has very little to do with weight loss. Moving our body is amazing for our mental health, for our physical strength, and so many things, but it's not really a weight loss strategy. And you may have said this before, but I think pretty much everybody, when I say anything about being a weight loss coach, they automatically go to, oh, I need to start working out again. When really we need to look at the food and the sleep and the water. Moving your body is so good for your mental well-being, for your emotional well-being, for all of the things, for your strength, for your physical well-being, but not necessarily for weight loss. So moving your body is a foundation of self-care. It is one of the self-care basics, because the more you move, the more you can move, the more you want to move. We want to be able to pick up a gallon of milk. We want to be able to play with the kids and the grandkids. So moving your body is definitely an element of self-care, just not so much a weight loss strategy, but I feel like it needs to be included. So again, starting where you're at, find exercises or ways to move your body that you enjoy that you can do without being overly sore so that you keep doing it. And moving your body can look like whatever you want it to look like. It doesn't have to be going to the gym for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. It can be going out for a 15-minute walk. It can be doing squats while you're waiting for your coffee to brew. It can be whatever you want it to look like. And some of the most fun coaching calls that I've had have been watching women discover that exercise is not the enemy, that they do not hate exercise. They hate what they think exercise has to look like. But let's free you up right now. Exercise can look like whatever you want it to look like. Find something that you enjoy doing and do that. You can go on YouTube and you can search any kind of workout. There are like so many channels of exercise, and there are some that I really love. I love Revelation Wellness, and I love, oh my goodness, Faithful Workouts. And I'll go on YouTube and just search. Like I've searched easy hit workouts, which I think that's kind of it's a oxymoron. But you can go on YouTube and find workouts. You can just put on a podcast and go walking, or an audiobook. So find something that you enjoy doing and do that to move your body. Okay, I was going to get into a little bit about hormones and fasting, but I think I'm going to save that for the next episode because we are already over 30 minutes in, and I would like to keep my podcast episodes under 30 minutes. So, self-care as a weight loss protocol. Plan for it. Drink the water, get the sleep, listen to your body, and move your body. And move your body is more in the self-care, not so much the weight loss. So next time I will be talking about hormones and intermittent fasting, which I never thought I would be an intermittent faster, but let me tell you, reading some books has changed my mind. So if you are thinking you would love to incorporate self-care as your weight loss protocol and you want to start planning, go to the link in the show notes and you can get my daily planning pages. Once you sign up for that, you can download the pages, and then you're going to get a few emails that kind of explain each section of my planning pages. And I love my planning process. I'm just going to tell you that. I love my planning process. I do it pretty much daily. I'm not perfect, and that's okay. So I would love to share those pages with you, the daily planning pages that I've created. And also, I would so appreciate it if wherever you're listening to this or watching, click the follow link, click the like, click the subscribe, rate, review, leave comments, and please, please, please share it with your friend. Share it on social media and tag me. I would love that. And all of these things help to push the podcast out to other people so that they can find it and they can get the help that they're looking for. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope that you love this. I would love to hear from you. What do you want to hear about? What would you like me to discuss on the podcast? Have a great